Hello everybody. This is the second video I put forward for the new philosophy called Instancology. This time, before I start, I'll explain a little bit more last time about absolutology. I said it's hard to describe what absolutology is, but one meaning, or I can probably approximate this meaning by saying it's not something, it's not being, it's not nothing. It's being and nothing's background. It's a basis of being versus nothing. So think this way. We know in Hegel's logic, pure being is nothing, because it's not determined in any way. So when you say pure being, you say nothing. So being versus nothing. And how do you describe absolutology? You jump out of something and something else. You jump out of the two parties versus each other. So that is the basis of the background of being and nothing. It's called absolute, or the study of absolutology. Okay? I just added that little part. Okay, and today's topic, basically I'm going to say how I get the idea of instancology. How do I get? If it's not a normal philosophy, it's not a regular philosophy system, how did you get it, but nobody else get it? Or other people didn't think about that. What's special about you? How did you come to this idea? So that's a question. I'll tell you. When you have something new other people don't have, you normally experienced something that other people don't experience before. By that experience, you get some revelation. That's how I got this idea of new philosophy called instancology. All right, here is the thing. We know that paradoxes are the development of new ideas. What is the earliest paradoxes in the history of philosophy? If you remember, from the ancient Greeks, the Zeno's paradox. Is that correct? The paradox of movement. The paradox of turtles versus hare, right? The Zeno gave like 40 of them, paradoxes, but the most famous is the regression problem. You cannot move forward in any way, right? Because of the regression thing. If you want to cover a distance, you have to cover half of it first. If you want to cover the first half, you have to cover the 1/4 of it. That sounds silly. Everybody knows that's not true. But nobody solved it. Even Aristotle tried. Nobody gave a perfect answer. Till I think it's the 18th century, mathematicians completed the series of integers and finished answering this question. All right? That's like almost 2,000 years late. They figured out how to give a theoretical answer to this question. All right. The other one people are familiar with is Bertrand Russell's paradox, or it's called Barber's paradox. Basically, he is doing mathematics. He is trying to figure out what's a set theory. If a set doesn't include itself, should it be included in another set? If it does, then it shouldn't. If it shouldn't, it should. So that's a paradox. I don't want to go into details, but basically, I'll give you a layperson's explanation, like a barber in the city. The barber says, I will only shave for those who don't shave themselves. So the question is, should the barber shave himself? If he does, he shouldn't. If he should, he doesn't. So that's a problem. Okay, my point is, by solving paradox, philosophy system goes forward. The paradoxes are not theories, not deep philosophical systems like Hegel's or Kant's or Heidegger's. All right? They are simple. Every lay person doesn't need a philosopher to understand it well. You just think about that, it's a paradox. All right? It's a self-contradiction, or it's resulted in self-contradiction. When you solve it, philosophy definitely will move forward. Okay? It's like an obstacle. Nobody can solve it, step over it. All right? That's the point. So, when I said I have some special experience, when I said I developed this philosophy called Instancology, it started with a paradox. The paradox is I call it thinking/consciousness paradox. Thinking or consciousness paradox. Well, it's interesting nowadays. A lot of people are studying consciousness, and maybe it's let me say a few more words about it. It's a lot of people are professionals. They are neuroscientists, neurosurgeon or medical people, or some people who are in this field studying the brain cell, the neural system, the nervous system, things like that. They tell the public, consciousness is this or that, is quantum related or some other things related. They always say, I found it. That's my solution. What is consciousness? Like, I don't know. Thousand people, scientists are studying it. But I can tell you, they are all wrong. Definitely no, they are all wrong. Because when I heard people saying consciousness is something, I know you are wrong. You know why? Because consciousness by nature, remember this word, is absolute. It is not is. You cannot say is. When you say is, you say is something, right? Then you are wrong. It's not is. All right, I'll explain more about that. Okay, but first, let me say this. Consciousness and thinking, till now, all researchers studying consciousness will agree. There is no clear distinction between the two areas. They are the same thing. Consciousness involves experience. Experience, part of it is psychology. how you feel, right? So they are sort of like one unity. How can you split it? Well, in this new philosophy, I call it Instancology. I'm going to tell you how to tell apart consciousness versus thinking. They are two things, totally different. How to tell the difference? I'll give you a test. But before I do that, I want to let you know, philosophy bites. Because when I felt it, when I experienced it, I suffered a lot. So if you are not sure about what you will think, what you will behave, I advise you don't look at this part, because I don't want you to get into trouble psychologically or mentally. This is like a storming. It will cause trouble for you. I'm afraid. I'm not sure. I myself felt it hurts a lot, but I overcome it. What I don't know is if you, when you listen to me, you can overcome it, or maybe you don't even care, so it doesn't matter. It won't bite you in any way. But I don't know about you, and just in case. So if you're not sure, I advise don't watch this part, all right? Or you are totally responsible if you get hurt by any means, by what I said, all right? I'm not responsible for that, all right? So this is a warning first, warning to you. Okay, for now, let me take a few minutes break. Then I put how I did it. I'll tell you exactly what it is. So I give you a few minutes to think about it, and we'll continue. Thank you very much. See you later.